The ancient wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda offers profound insights into the art of achieving deep, restorative sleep free from the disturbances of nightmares and restless dreams. His teachings, rooted in the timeless practices of yoga and meditation, provide a holistic approach to transforming our nightly rest into a period of genuine rejuvenation and spiritual renewal. Through understanding and applying these principles, we can unlock the door to peaceful slumber that nourishes both body and soul. If you enjoy this video, give me a like, comment below about your thought, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any video-inspired teaching by Paramahansa Yogananda. Let's tune in. The first essential practice that Yogananda emphasized involves the conscious preparation of the mind and body during the hours leading up to sleep. This preparation is not merely about physical relaxation, but rather a deliberate process of withdrawing our consciousness from the external world and turning it inward toward a state of divine peace. Yogananda taught that the quality of our sleep is directly influenced by the state of our consciousness at the moment we drift off. If we fall asleep with our minds churning with worries, anxieties, or the residual stimulation of the day's activities, these mental patterns will continue to play out in our subconscious, manifesting as disturbed sleep and troubling dreams. To implement this practice effectively, Yogananda recommended establishing a sacred evening routine that begins at least 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. During this time, we should consciously avoid stimulating activities such as watching intense television programs, engaging in heated discussions, or consuming heavy meals. Instead, this period should be devoted to calming activities that help settle the mind and prepare the consciousness for its nightly journey inward. Reading spiritual literature, particularly passages that inspire devotion and peace, can be profoundly beneficial. Yogananda himself often suggested reading from sacred texts or uplifting poetry that directs the mind toward higher thoughts and divine contemplation. The practice of gentle pranayama, or yogic breathing exercises, forms a crucial component of this evening preparation. Yogananda taught specific breathing techniques designed to calm the nervous system and quiet the restless waves of thought that typically disturb our peace. One particularly effective technique involves sitting comfortably with the spine straight and practicing slow, deep breathing where the exhalation is slightly longer than the inhalation. This simple yet powerful practice activates the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling to the body that it is safe to relax and let go of the day's tensions. As we breathe deeply and rhythmically, we should visualize each exhalation carrying away stress, worry, and mental agitation, while each inhalation brings in peace, calmness, and divine light. Beyond the physical act of breathing, Yogananda emphasized the importance of consciously releasing the day's experiences and emotions. Many people carry the weight of their daily interactions, disappointments, and concerns directly into their sleep, where these unresolved energies manifest as nightmares or disturbing dreams. To prevent this, we must practice what Yogananda called mental house cleaning before sleep. This involves sitting quietly and mentally reviewing the day's events with detachment, forgiving ourselves and others for any mistakes or conflicts, and consciously releasing any negative emotions or attachments. We can visualize placing all our concerns, worries, and unfinished business into the hands of the divine, trusting that we will be guided and supported in addressing them when we awaken refreshed and renewed. The second fundamental practice that Yogananda taught centers on the power of affirmation and prayer to program the subconscious mind for peaceful, undisturbed sleep. The subconscious mind is extraordinarily receptive during the transition between waking and sleeping, and the thoughts and intentions we hold during this liminal state have a profound influence on the quality of our rest and the nature of our dreams. Yogananda understood that nightmares and disturbing dreams often arise from deep-seated fears, anxieties, and negative thought patterns that have been impressed upon the subconscious mind through repeated exposure and emotional intensity. By consciously impressing positive, peaceful, and spiritually uplifting thoughts upon the subconscious as we fall asleep, we can gradually transform these negative patterns and establish new pathways of peace and divine protection. Yogananda created specific affirmations designed to be repeated mentally as one prepares for sleep and during the drowsy moments before unconsciousness takes over. One of his most powerful sleep affirmations is, "I am submerged in eternal light." It is through that light that I can do all things. Another profound affirmation he taught is, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit, soul, mind, and body. Guard thou my sleep. Let no fear or nightmare disturb my peace. These affirmations should not be repeated mechanically, but rather with deep feeling and conviction, allowing the words to sink into the very depths of our being. As we repeat them, we should visualize ourselves surrounded by divine light, protected by infinite love, and cradled in the arms of the Divine Mother. The practice of prayer before sleep holds a special place in Yogananda's teachings. He encouraged his students to develop a personal, intimate relationship with God, speaking to the divine as one would speak to the most loving parent or dearest friend. This bedtime prayer should not be a formal recitation, but rather a heartfelt conversation in which we express our gratitude for the day's blessings, ask for forgiveness for our shortcomings, and request divine protection and guidance during our sleep. Yogananda taught that when we sincerely invite God's presence into our sleep, we place ourselves under divine protection, and no negative force or disturbing dream can penetrate the shield of that sacred presence. An essential aspect of this practice involves consciously directing our last waking thoughts toward the highest spiritual ideals. Yogananda often said that the last thought we hold before falling asleep is of paramount importance, as it sets the tone for our entire night's rest and influences the quality of our consciousness during sleep. Rather than allowing ourselves to drift off while thinking about problems, worries, or mundane concerns, we should make a deliberate effort to focus our final conscious moments on thoughts of God, divine love, peace, or the image of a great saint or spiritual teacher. Some of Yogananda's students found it helpful to gaze at a picture of their guru or a sacred image while lying in bed, allowing that divine presence to be the last thing they see before closing their eyes. Others preferred to mentally chant a sacred mantra or the name of God, allowing that holy vibration to carry them gently into sleep. The third essential practice that Yogananda emphasized involves the cultivation of what he called conscious sleep or yogic sleep, a state in which we maintain a thread of awareness even as the body and conscious mind rest. This advanced practice represents the culmination of the spiritual approach to sleep and offers the possibility of transforming our nightly rest into a period of spiritual communion and divine experience. Yogananda taught that sleep need not be a state of complete unconsciousness, but can instead become an opportunity to experience deeper levels of our being and to commune with the divine in the inner sanctum of our soul. The foundation of this practice lies in learning to relax the body completely while keeping the mind alert and focused. This is achieved through a systematic relaxation technique that Yogananda taught, in which we lie on our back in a comfortable position and mentally direct each part of the body to relax, beginning with the feet and moving upward through the legs, torso, arms, and finally the face and head. As we focus on each body part, we should tense it briefly and then release it completely, feeling the tension drain away and the muscles become soft and heavy. This process should be accompanied by the mental affirmation, relax, let go, and let God. As the body becomes progressively more relaxed, we may experience a pleasant heaviness or a sensation of sinking into the bed, which indicates that we are successfully releasing physical tension. Once the body is deeply relaxed, the practice shifts to maintaining awareness at the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows that Yogananda identified as the seat of spiritual consciousness and the doorway to higher states of awareness. With the eyes gently closed and turned slightly upward, we focus our attention at this point, not with strain or effort, but with gentle, loving concentration. As we maintain this focus, we may begin to perceive inner light, colors, or a sense of vast space opening before us. Yogananda taught that by holding our awareness at the spiritual eye as we drift toward sleep, we can maintain a thread of consciousness that allows us to remain aware even as the body sleeps. This state, which he called watching the sleep, enables us to observe the transition from waking to sleeping consciousness and to experience the deeper levels of our being that are normally hidden from our awareness. In this state of conscious sleep, nightmares cannot occur because we maintain sufficient awareness to recognize that we are dreaming and to consciously direct our dream experience toward positive, uplifting content. Moreover, by practicing this technique regularly, we gradually train the subconscious mind to maintain a connection with our higher consciousness even during ordinary sleep, which naturally reduces the occurrence of disturbing dreams and increases the frequency of peaceful, spiritually meaningful dream experiences. Yogananda taught that advanced practitioners of this technique could use their sleep time for spiritual progress, experiencing inner visions, receiving divine guidance, and even engaging in conscious astral travel to higher planes of existence. An important aspect of cultivating conscious sleep involves the practice of what Yogananda called sleeping in God. This means falling asleep with the consciousness merged in divine love and peace, maintaining an inner awareness of God's presence even as the outer consciousness fades. To facilitate this, Yogananda recommended mentally chanting a sacred mantra or the name of God as we drift towards sleep, allowing the vibration of that holy sound to carry us into the divine presence. Some students found it helpful to imagine themselves resting in the lap of the Divine Mother or being held in the loving embrace of God, allowing that sense of divine protection and love to be the last conscious experience before sleep takes over. The practice of keeping a spiritual diary or dream journal can greatly support this third practice. Upon awakening, we should immediately record any dreams or inner experiences we remember, as well as noting the quality of our sleep and our state of consciousness upon waking. Over time, this practice helps us become more aware of our dream patterns and the factors that influence our sleep quality. We may notice that on nights when we faithfully practice our evening meditation and affirmations, our sleep is deeper and our dreams more peaceful or spiritually meaningful. This feedback reinforces our commitment to the practice and helps us refine our approach based on our individual needs and responses. Yogananda also emphasized the importance of maintaining a regular sleep schedule and creating a sleep environment that supports deep rest and spiritual practice. Going to bed and waking at consistent times helps regulate the body's natural rhythms and makes it easier to establish the evening routine and morning practices that support spiritual growth. The bedroom should be kept clean, uncluttered, and dedicated primarily to sleep and meditation, creating a sanctuary that feels peaceful and conducive to spiritual practice. Some students found it helpful to place sacred images or symbols in the bedroom, burn incense or use essential oils with calming properties, or play soft devotional music during their evening preparation time. The integration of these three practices creates a comprehensive approach to achieving deep, peaceful sleep free from nightmares and disturbing dreams. The evening preparation calms the mind and body, releasing the day's tensions and creating the conditions for restful sleep. The use of affirmations and prayer programs the subconscious mind with positive, protective thoughts and invites divine presence into our sleep. The cultivation of conscious sleep transforms our nightly rest from mere unconsciousness into an opportunity for spiritual experience and growth. Together, these practices address not only the symptoms of poor sleep and bad dreams, but also their root causes in the restless mind and disconnection from our spiritual nature. As we persist in these practices with patience and devotion, we will gradually notice profound changes not only in our sleep quality, but in our overall well-being and spiritual awareness. Sleep becomes a time of genuine restoration, and we awaken feeling refreshed, peaceful, and connected to our deeper self. The fears and anxieties that once manifested as nightmares begin to dissolve in the light of our growing spiritual awareness. Most importantly, we develop a deeper relationship with the divine, learning to trust in the protection and guidance that is always available to us when we open ourselves to receive it. Through Yogananda's wisdom, sleep becomes not an escape from life, but a sacred journey into the heart of our being, where we can rest in the eternal peace that is our true nature.